Things are getting interesting with Valheim selling 4 million copies within the first 3 weeks and hitting over 500,000 concurrent players on Steam, placing it in the top 5 most played games in the history of Steam. But what lies for the future of Valheim? Well, we already have a roadmap published, but thanks to a recent article published by PC Gamer, we've got a little bit of a better idea and a better understanding as to what's in store. But before we sink our teeth into the info, if you want to keep up to date with Valheim news, be sure to hit the subscribe button, as I'll be covering it over the coming months. So, what did the roadmap show to us? It showed us a total of 4 planned updates for the rest of 2021, and with 10 months left of the year, that's 1 update every 2.5 months roughly. First up, we have Hearth and Home, which I'm super excited for as it's focusing on Viking home builds, and as you may have already seen, I love my time-lapse builds. In fact, expect to see my Hobbit home time-lapse come out within the next few days. With this update, we're going to be seeing more building pieces and stuff to do in and around our houses, including new food preparation and recipes, and I'm really hoping for more crops to grow, and I'd love to have more clothing options, but who knows what they have in mind. Our second update, Cult of the Wolf, will focus on exploration and combat, with hopefully some fun and different encounters for the players. Now I'm intrigued to see what these new encounters are, and with it being the Cult of the Wolf as the name, could we see cultists in wolfskin pelts roaming the wilds? But looking at Nordic mythology, more interesting is the thought that this could possibly suggest werewolves. After all, there are tales in Nordic folklore of a father and son who donned wolf pelts and transformed into wolves and went on killing rampages in the forests. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if this was the case, and could be found in the Black Forest or even in the mountain biomes. Moving on, we have the third update, which is Ships and the Sea, and this will definitely be a good one with ship customization and more stuff to do in the ocean biome. After all, currently we have only the Krakens and the Sea Serpents. Obviously there are waves and storms to deal with, but I'd love to see some new ships as well as possible NPC crews to battle, or possibly other mythological beasts. Actually, for that matter, the Kraken to be fleshed out even more to become an actual boss battle would be pretty cool. And as for the ship customization, well, we've seen images with longships laden with shields. I could definitely see that being added, and would happily set my crew to row with oars if possible, as when we're sailing against the wind, we definitely need more speed. And then we have update 4, which will be adding Mistlands to Valheim. This is already in the game, but is an empty biome. We will be able to expect new enemies, items, bosses, resources, everything. But what can we expect from it? Well, if you travel there, you'll find cobweb-covered trees. You can also find giant skulls scattered around. Literally my worst nightmare, suggesting some big spiders and no doubt some smaller ones. And spiderwebs also give off the impression that we might have silk for creating fine clothes, which would be awesome for player customization, especially if long-term we'll be able to play with up to 99 other players in a server. Maybe we'll even be able to create nets as well as to catch fish alive to create mini fish farms. Sure, I'm getting a bit carried away here, but I'm really excited for more. But that's what they've planned for this year. But they did finish the post off with other things they'd love to add if they had time. Multiplayer interactions. Now this would be really great for allowing us to trade items with other players without having to throw particular items on the floor. Combat improvements, which would be really nice to see, and moon phases, which are great if we actually do have werewolves. They also mentioned tar pits, which suggests a new resource to use for possibly traps and weapons. Vendor inventory expansion, and Svoltifer Brigands. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, but again, I'm certainly down for more NPCs to play with. Following on from that, they mentioned that there would be more unique locations, so possibly a sandbox mode, and Munin, Now as for Moonin, I don't know what it will give us. Who knows, as Hugin is the Raven of Thought, hence it assists us in the game, whereas Moonin comes from the old Nordic word for memory or mind, so perhaps this could be more in-depth leveling systems for your character, but I have to state I'm just guessing at this point. Right at the end, they then went on to mention that the end game will include 9 biomes, each with their own boss. Now, these are the incomplete Ashlands, Mistlands, Far Deep North and Ocean biome, as well as the plains, meadows, Black Forest, mountain and swamplands that we already know very well. With these, we may also see some mini bosses as well, and no doubt plenty more new items for our characters. But when will these come? Well, as of right now, the team are fixing the many bugs that come from rolling out this game to 4 million odd players, so do be patient. However, if you click the subscribe button and the bell, I'll keep you up to date with Valheim news as it becomes available. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to our amazing patrons, most notably our Solar Eclipse patrons, The Calamity, Bo Papa, Cerebral Tag, Trebor and JP Zone TV, as well as our Lunar Eclipse patrons, Matt Lippard, Chris McCabe and Lord of July. And finally, also our Blood Moon of the day, It's Bits. Anyway guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and as always, ciao for now.